Kadash want to give our praises to Yahweh Bahashemi, Hawashai Bahashem Kakadash, double honors to the apostles and the elders. Peace, blessings, honors to all the brothers in the truth. Check this out. I want to start off with Isaiah 13. Not many precepts, but I want you to see this real life example, right? To show you that the Bible is prophesying and the things are true. That prophesy in the Bible. So I'm going to name this everyone that is joined into them shall fall by the sword. This is Isaiah chapter 13. I want to start at verse 13. Therefore I will shake the heavens, and the earth shall remove out of her place, and in the wrath of the Lord of the hosts, and in the day of his fierce anger. And it shall be as a chased roe, and as a sheep that no man taketh up. They shall every man turn to his own people, and flee everyone to his own land. And you see a little bit, a glimpse of that with the Ukraine stuff, the Russia versus Ukraine. You see a lot of Ukrainians fleeing back to their own people to try to fight, right? So this is prophecy, but it's going to be even bigger once this come over here to America, which is Mystery Babylon in the Bible. It says, verse 15, everyone that is found shall be thrusted through, and everyone that is joined into them shall fall by the sword. So remember that everyone that is joined into them, these Edomites, are going to fall by the sword. Now listen to this.
Wicker Park and her determination to return home to Ukraine and become a freedom fighter. She's already bought a one-way ticket, and she's looking for legal military gear to take with her. NBC5's Regina Waldrop spoke with her tonight.
It's a life-altering decision she didn't have to think about.
It's harder for, when you're not there. All of my people are there.
Watching the images, hearing the stories, it fueled Maria's desire to be back in Ukraine, helping defend her native homeland.
I'd rather go there and do the stuff that needs to be done.
A trained musician now living in the Chicago area, she'll soon be traveling to Poland and crossing into Ukraine with hopes of joining the fight against Russia.
I'm strong, I'm stubborn. I also speak all the languages in the region. I speak Russian, Ukrainian, Polish, German, English, a little bit of Lithuanian, right? So I can be useful.
Her soon-to-be husband traveling with her. The plan is to get married before they leave next Monday. He's a veteran.
Okay.
I really...
You see her husband is a veteran. You see he's a what you would call a so-called Negro, but he's an Israelite, probably from the tribe of Judah, maybe.
Didn't want him to go, but he would not let me go by myself.
Right now,
night goggles are very needed.
You see what she said? She said she wanted to go back. She said she got a one-way ticket to go fight, right, for her country. She could be very useful because she speaks a lot of different languages and stuff like that, right? And he said he would not let her go alone. Why? Because he's joined into her. So he's willing to go over there, probably with her, and lose his life. And that's why it said in Isaiah 13, those that's joined into them shall fall by the sword. Because these Edomites have a judgment that's coming from them. They're going to go to war. The Lord is about to make them go into what's called World War III today, right? And then eventually the Lord is going to come back and destroy them. So if you're joined into them, then you're going to fall by the sword too, because a lot of them are going to fall by the sword. You see what I'm saying? And then eventually, you got to remember, eventually, right, when they are, Obadiah chapter 1, verse 18, when they're all cut off by slaughter, if you're joined into them, then, what's that going to lead you? You see what I'm saying? So let's keep going.
Maria's packing and getting prepared. The president of Ukraine has called on people to join the fight in his country. Here are a few things to consider if you're looking to join the resistance. First, contact the Ukrainian embassy and let them know your intentions. Gather important documents like your passport, write an application for enlistment, get instructions on how to get to Ukraine, and finally, be organized when you do get there.
I hope, when I arrive there on Monday, all of this will be over. I hope.
You see what I'm saying? So I would have told her, right? That's what I would have told her. I would have said, nah, we not finna go over there and do that. You ain't gonna make no big difference in the war. Let them handle that. You don't really know what's going on. It's all set up. So it ain't, worth you losing your life for something that's set up. You see what I'm saying? And really, it's the Lord's will. Now, he finna go over there with her to battle, to help her. He fuck around and lose his life. What about your mama? What if he got sisters? He got a father. So you finna risk your life just because you're joined into this Edomite, right? Your wife, your heathen wife, that's going to pull your heart to go over there and get in some shit that's not even, that don't even involve you. As a matter of fact, over there in Ukraine, they're being racist, right? towards towards other Israelites, so-called Judah, so-called Negroes that's over there. They're being racist and giving them the last resources, the crumbs of the resources, not allowing them to escape or flee, making them go on the front line in battle. And that you're finna go over there too, right? When they're oppressing your own people over there, and you finna help fight for them just because you joined into your heathen wife. You see what I'm saying? So that's why it's so important, because you could have an unbelieving wife, right? You know, a lot of times when you first meet her, she's unbelieving. But you start, you know, dropping gems on her, and maybe she starts to come into it. But it's difficult because you're playing with fire, because you always got to remember, you are joined into your wife. You're supposed to be one with your wife. So if you're supposed to be one with your wife, but she's has a whole, how can you be one if she believes in Buddha and you believe in Yahweh Shai? How could y'all be one? How could y'all be one flesh together? It's playing with fire. You see what I'm saying? So and another thing, it causes, because you know us men, we love our wives, so it also causes your wife could pull your heart away from the Lord. That's what happened with King Solomon at old age. And you got to remember, King Solomon had the most wisdom and the most knowledge than any man on earth, for a very long time. I would say all the way until Yahweh Shai came, personally. So if that's the case, and even his heart was turned away from the Lord because of his many wives, what about you? You see what I'm saying? So when you get with these heathen wives and stuff like that, if you're joined to them, they're going to pull your heart away from the Lord, and they're going to get you killed by the sword. Let's just say that. This is Revelations 18 verse 4. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, right? My people, talking to the Israelites, that ye be not partakers in her sins, and that ye receive not her plagues. So we have to come up out of this place spiritually, right? Because if you're joined into these people, right, and you know you with your heathen wife, so you're not really practicing being an Israelite inwardly, Romans chapter 2, right? What it's going to cause you to do is sin, the same way it caused King Solomon in old age to go against the Lord. That was sin, right? And then it's going to cause you to receive those plagues. So what you're seeing with the war is a plague. Missiles getting dropped on a country, that's a plague of missiles. You see what I'm saying? So what's happening to these Edomites right now is the Lord is taking the curses off Israel little by little. We still got the curses on us until the Lord returns. And he's starting to curse these other nations and put the curses on these other nations and starting to turn up the flame on them. And what they're receiving right now, they're receiving plagues. Look at the gas prices. That's a plague that the Lord's putting on them. And he's going to intensify. He's going to turn it up. Look at the war that's going on in Russia, Ukraine. That's a plague. A lot of Ukrainians are getting put to death right now, and Russians. That's a plague. Look at the whole pandemic thing. A lot of people died from the little thing that was going around. That was a plague. You see what I'm saying? The shortages. A lot of people are dying because of that. You know, so those are plagues that the Lord's starting to put on them. And just like her husband, if you're joined to them, then if you don't come up out of this place, then you're going to get caught up by those same plagues, just like it said in Isaiah chapter 13. So those joined to them shall fall by the sword. With that, I'm going to say salvation to the elect. Shalom. You know, just real life examples, man.